Right, so good day class. So today we're going to start our lecture on how to do your network diagram. So we're going to compute using the forward and the backward method. So we're going to look for the slack and we're going to form the diagram itself. Okay, so first let's draw the diagram. So you have here the different activities from A to G. So those activities, they represent activities that could happen in our different construction sites or during the construction process. Okay, so let's start drawing it. So you have two activities, A and B, which has no predecessors. So let's place them here. You don't have any predecessors. So there are no prior activities that are needed for you to start. Okay. Then we have activity C, which is the requirement is activity A. So let's place it here. Then let's place an arrow, okay, indicating its relationship. Okay. From the start, you also have A here, then uh, B here. So I think that should do it. Okay. Then for uh, D here, we have activity D. This activity requires the presence of both activity A and activity B for it to start. So let's place the arrow. Then after that you have E. For E, the requirement is for D to start. Then we have activity F. The requirement is both C and E. So let's place an arrow here from C and another arrow from E. So it should look like that. And then we have activity G. Its requirement is activity E. So let's place an arrow there from E. Okay. Then a final arrow connecting to the finish. So we now have the network diagram for this particular problem. So as you can see, it's quite easy to form it. Okay. So all the activities are already represented from start to finish. From A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the first thing that we're going to do, class, is the forward pass. So on the forward pass, we're going to compute the early start and the early finish. Now let's start with activity A. For activity A, so I think since it has no predecessors, its early start is 0. Then since it requires 7 weeks for it to complete, so its early finish is around 7 days. Let's place that there. Then for activity B, similar to activity A, its early start is 0, but and its early finish is 9 because it requires 9 weeks for it to finish. So it's going to be 0 and 9. So let's go to C. Now C, it requires A for it to start. So the early start of C is 7. Then its early finish is around 7 plus 12, which is around 19, I think. Okay, it's 19. Now let's go to D. In D, it's a little bit complicated because there are two predecessors, so 7 and 9. So in the forward pass class, you're going to choose the one with the higher value. So you're going to start with 9. Then 9 plus 8 is 17. So it's 17 weeks. Its early finish is around 17 weeks. Now let's go to E. Now in the case of E, um, its early start is 17 weeks because it has only one predecessor. Then we add that with its duration, which is 9. So that's 17 plus 9. I think it's 26, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now let's go to F. F is a little bit complicated since it has two predecessors, um, C and E. So we choose the higher value. The higher value here is 26 weeks for the early start. So we have 26 plus 6, that's 32 weeks. Okay. Now let's go to G. So uh, our only basis is its one singular predecessor, which is E. So it requires for 26 weeks its early start, and then its early finish, it's around 26 plus 5, which is around 31. Now to finish the entire project, you choose the higher value, which is around 32. So you will need around 32 weeks to complete the project. Now let's go to the backward pass. Okay, now let's start with letter G. So it's 32. So 32 minus 5, I think that's around 27 here. Now let's go to F. That's 32 minus 6, so it's 26. Now let's go to letter E. I think letter E, so for letter E class, it has two successors, which is F and G, and then the lowest between the two, 26 and 27 is 26. So we're going to use 26 here. So 26 minus value of E of just 9 is equal to 17. So E, F, G. Okay, so let's go to D. For the backward pass of D, we're going to start at 17. Let's base that on the uh, late start of 17. So it's 17. So 17 minus 8, that's around 9. So it's 9 there. Then let's go to letter C. So that's 26, I guess. It has only one successor, so it's easier to decide. So 26 minus 12, that's around 14. Now let's go to uh, let's go to B first. So B has only one successor, uh, which is D. So its late finish will be 9. Then 9 minus 9 is 0. It's 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. For letter A, there are two successors, 14 and 9 from C and D. So let's choose the lower value of 9 because we are in the backward pass. So A is 9 minus 7, which is 2. So its late start is 2. So now we have a network diagram with the complete early start, early finish, then late start and late finish of the following activities. Then next, after finding that out, we're going to determine the slack. Now to determine the slack loss, all you have to do is subtract the late finish and the early finish and then the late start from the early start. So here, let's start of our earlier activities. So the slack here is 9 minus 7 and 2 minus 0. So the slack here in this area is, so let's write, the slack is 2. Slack is 2. Then for this one, that's 26 minus 19, so that's around 7. So let me check. Minus 19. The slack here is 7 weeks. For this one, it's obviously 0. So slack 0. It's also same for this. Same for this. Here at G, the slack is around 1 week. So 27 minus 26. Okay, so we have already determined the slack. Now let's determine the critical path of this network. Okay, so the slack means slash, for example, in activity A, so it could be delayed for up to 2 weeks. Then activity C could be delayed for up to 7 weeks. Then activity G could be delayed up to 1 week. So the activities here which shouldn't be delayed is B, D, E, and F. Okay, so since they cannot be delayed, they represent the critical path of our network. So the critical path, let me copy this. So our critical path is the network B, D, E, and F. Since these are activities that cannot be uh, delayed. Okay, so I hope that you learned something from this class. Um, Probably I'll give another example next week. Then we're going to have an activity after that. Okay, so if you have any further questions or clarifications, feel free to ask me anytime. And see you next week, class, and stay safe.